Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or morning, or a lot of people are asleep right now. So whenever time you're seeing this, I would like to definitely welcome you out here. I'm here with the beautiful Miss Kimberly Tilley. Some of you guys may have seen her around before. She's kind of a really big deal in the industry. She is definitely an expert when it comes to building huge businesses, empowering and inspiring people. She's changing lives in record time. It's an absolute privilege, a pleasure, and an honor to have her with me on this hangout. She's an absolute superstar, and I definitely hope you guys are able
Hey,
to
good
get
evening,
some
ladies and
tips from
gentlemen,
her.
or morning, or
Oh,
a lot of people asleep.
uh,
That's that.
that's taken care of. That was me. It's never me on the hangout this time. Uh, but yeah, definitely glad to have you guys out here. Glad to have you here, Kimberly. I'm Terrance Collins. For those of you who don't know me, a lot of you guys see me all over Facebook as a social media hype man. I'm definitely everywhere, all over social media. We're going to talk a little bit about why that is tonight, and we're going to give you guys some tips and some advice to help you guys get from where you are to the next level in your business and about where you definitely want to be. Do you have anything you want to say real quick before I got into some of this stuff?
No, I'm really honored to be here with you, and I want to learn from you too because I don't do a lot of recruiting on Facebook, so I'm interested to see what little tricks and stuff you have up your sleeve. So hey, you know what? It doesn't matter how seasoned a marketer you are. There's always things that you can learn from people. So that's why it's important to build relationships online. And for me, I know that some of the closest relationships that I've built are online. And then, you go and meet up at events and stuff like that, and it's almost like a family reunion that you've known the people your whole life. So it's definitely important to build relationships online, and I think that's what some of the stuff you're going to teach us tonight. Yes.
Definitely. And for those of you that don't know, I'll give you guys a little bit of my backstory. Terrance Collins Jr. I'm a regular guy. There's nothing extraordinary about me other than, I'm very passionate, I'm very ambitious, and I'm on a mission to change lives and to really create a new world. And what do I mean by that? I know that I can't die until education reform has taken root. That's my life's purpose, that's my life's mission. And right now, that's one of those things that helps to get me from where I am to being put in that position I need to be in for me to be able to bring my dream to reality. Um, for me, my backstory in this is in this industry. I've been around the industry for almost 8 years now. It will be a little bit longer, but most companies you can't start in when you're 17. That's when I first took a look. It made sense, but I couldn't get involved. Um, I hated to dedicate any part of my life to somebody else's dream. I really did, because I value myself. My dreams matter, and I have things that I want to do and that I want to accomplish as well. And so for me, I saw an opportunity to be able to make those things happen. And my background is offline. So a lot of people that have done marketing offline, they come online and they think that they're just going to blow up. But if you're an offline marketer, you come online, nobody knows who you are. So you have almost no online credibility at all. Some of the biggest names I know offline have maybe 2,000 friends. I'm talking about people who have over 50,000 people in their networks. So we all have things that we can always learn. And so for me, jumping in online, there was different things I had to learn. Now, fortunately for me, I was around to see Facebook when it came about, to see how Facebook has grown and some of the trends. I've always had an interest in connecting with people. And growing up, As my adult years, being having access to Facebook. Facebook has been out about 9 years now. Would have got marketing just over 8 years ago. Had I not been 17, so you kind of do the math on it right there. Um, and so one of the things I used to do is that one of my old mentors, that I love, used to say before this industry is ambitious in all the wrong ways. And I kind of was too when it came to social media. And so for me, I kind of use social media to help me build my offline business. So maybe you're an offline marketer, but you're struggling because your warm market is burned out. You're nervous about approaching people in person, and you're looking to be able to add to your business. Or maybe you're new to online, or maybe you're new to marketing in general, and you're watching this. And today, I hope we'll be able to share with you some things that are definitely going to be able to help you get a little bit further on in your business. And we'll talk about some do's and some don'ts, and we're going to be able to hear some wisdom and some nuggets from Miss Tilley. If you see me when she's talking or looking away, I'm probably taking notes. One of the things I learned is that earners are learners and learners become earners. And so I'm always looking for opportunity to learn. Um, Let me go ahead and bring up screen share. We're going to do entire screen.
I'll be taking notes too.
And
While
right
you're
now,
doing that, I wanted to say, Terrance, you were talking about being online and what we do, and I was putting my son to bed tonight, and he said to me, he said, "Mommy," or he didn't say that, he said, "Mama," because he calls me Mama. He said, "Why do people do the same things?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, they're born, then they go to school, then they get out of school, then they go to college or university, then they get married, then they get kids, have kids, and then they get old and they retire, and everybody does the same thing. He said, "I don't want to do that." It was so funny to hear him, describe it that way. And I said, "Well, you don't have to do that. You have choices." And he said, "Well, I've learned that from you." So education starts at home. And
definitely.
I wanted, and you are huge on education and sharing that with the world. So I just wanted to say that he's only 8 years old, but what an impact this industry has had on his life already.
Yeah, definitely. And it only takes
Mm-hmm.
one person to create a wave of change. And it's funny, because since we're on the subject of Facebook, earlier on Facebook, I don't know whose post it was, but you guys, it was on my post, one of my posts, and you guys were talking about, you know, your missions and everything, and wanting to inspire change and change lives and all that. And I said, and it's something I firmly believe in, that each one reach one it's a damn concept. And instead of planting seeds, if everybody laid eggs, then the world would be a better place. And what do I mean by that? If each hen reached 10 or hatched 10 lives that were changed, hatched 10 people into being able to get from where they are to exactly where they wanted to be, then you know what they would do? They would be able to go and do the same. And now we create a wave of change. To change the world, it only takes one person at a time, one event at a time. There's 86,000 opportunities a day to be able to create a wave of change in the world. And I mean that because it's 86,000 seconds in the day. Um, Kimberly, can you see my screen right now?
Yes, I can.
Sweet. All
Double
right. So,
puppy.
yep. Now, what I want to talk about real quick before I really break down why I have it on my screen is edge rank. People are like, how come some people are getting noticed by people, or how come my posts aren't getting noticed, and this, that, and the third, and what is this ranking thing, and then what's the key to Facebook, and And Facebook has an algorithm, and we like to call a lot of it edge rank. It gets real complicated and complex. I'm gonna break down a little bit for you guys. Um, edge rank. When you click on home on Facebook and it takes you to your news feed, what you see on your news feed is a bunch of posts and stuff from other people. Now, if you created a Facebook profile and you added 5,000 friends and you left it alone for 30 days, and you come back to that profile and you click home, the only thing it would show is your post. Why is that? Because your edge rank is a 0, which means that you're seen by nobody and you see nobody's updates. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've done this experiment myself. I have another profile that I refuse to use, and I have a lot of friends. And I opened a profile. I changed my profile picture, my cover picture, and I clicked on home, and I saw two things on my newsfeed. So edge rank. If you're not engaging with people, nobody is seeing you. If you don't engage with these people, they're not going to see anything that you have ever, ever. I'm not engaged with those people. I'm not seeing any of their updates. Since I'm not engaged with them, they didn't see any of my updates. And as I talk a little bit, you'll see why that is so alarming. That there was only two things, and I had no response on that. Um, now, why is it that 10 people can post at the same exact second in time that you've engaged with, right? But all 10 people can't take the same spot in your newsfeed. They posted the exact same second. Well, whose is at the top of the newsfeed? And why somebody else is number 10? Why is it that you see some people they post and it seems like that their post is always at the top of your newsfeed? And that's that Facebook algorithm. That's that edge ranking right there. That's being able to be seen as the order of importance. If 10 people post at the exact same second and have the exact same network, the most important person is going to be at the top 100% of the time because it is all mathematical formula. All right, so think edge rank, think activity rating. If you want to be seen, you need to be active. If you want people liking and commenting on your post, you best believe you better be out there liking and commenting on people's posts. All right, so in this industry, you make money by the size of not your network. That's one of the biggest myths, is your network determines your net worth. No, that's completely wrong. Because of your entire network decides not to participate, your net worth is 0. Your net worth is based on the size of your business network. And if you have a team in business and nobody on your team is being seen, if you are the only one, your team is not growing. You see what I'm saying? Now your net worth is absolutely nothing. Because when your team isn't being seen and your teams aren't growing, your team is not going to grow. It is going to decline. So you are going to stop making money. And you're going to get to that point where you no longer are at break even, but where you are back to investing money in your business every month. If you're at that point where you're investing money into your business every month, look at your page and see how much activity you get on your page. All right? I get friend requests all the time. I'll go to somebody's page, I'll look, and out of the last 15 posts, they have what I like to call 20 rating points, all right? And that's a combination between likes and comments, all right? Even shares in there, because nobody's liking and nobody's commenting. I guarantee nobody's sharing. You see what I'm saying? And every single one of those things counts towards your edge ranking. And your edge ranking changes. It's a different dynamic based on each person. So even 1,000 people always see you, you need to connect with 1,000 people, have activity exchange with 1,000 people, and then it's hard to stay on top of 1,000 people. So now you need to figure out how to get 1,000 people to constantly come back to your page to keep your edge rank high on those 1,000 people. If you're always adding people and you're forgetting about the old people, those old people might as well not even exist in your network. If you're not connected with them, they're not connected with you. In this industry, you hear it all the time. People join people, not opportunities. And if nobody's connecting with you, you're not connecting with anybody, you have no people to join your opportunity. And that connecting isn't just day one, I'm going to meet you, 3 messages in, I'm going to send a link, and either you sign up or you don't. You don't, okay, a week later I'm going to follow up with you, either via phone call, text message, email, Facebook. Out of those methods, the worst possible one is email. Second worst is text message. All right. Third worst is a Facebook message. And the fourth worst, therefore the best out of all those, is a phone call for a follow up. In case you didn't know, I don't care if you're online or offline. That's the number one method for a follow up if you want to increase your effectiveness. Maybe you don't have a phone, which is great because guess what? A lot of people don't have phones, and disadvantages that people on my team have or people I'm working with have. I try and take those away from myself so I can put myself in their shoes and I can see what they're going through so I know how to help those people. So if you're a leader in this industry or you want to be, that's something I would highly advise because if you're a person who's always had warm market success offline and nobody on your team is able to have that success, if you only have that experience that you have and you can't see their perspective, you're still not going to have a team. Your warm market is going to die, and then you're going to learn the hard way, and you're going to be starting over. Whereas if you would try and get their perspective, you could save the business you do have. You could grow even more business by expanding your reach as a marketer, and you can help your team so you can have an explosion. Okay. Now, something that a lot of people who understand edge rank don't know with newsfeed. You see, if somebody gets married, you see that they could be the world's least likable person, and they'll have 50 likes and 30 comments, and they don't interact with these people on a daily basis, right? But if somebody posts something about business, like all the time, people, not just on my team, but everywhere, Terrance, can you tell me what I'm doing wrong on my ads on my profile? I don't even have to look at your profile to already know what you're doing wrong. you know? Why is it that somebody getting married gets more attention than you? Somebody getting married doesn't benefit anybody but the two people getting married. You posting about business benefits everybody who joins your team. So I will argue to say that what you have to say is much more important than the wedding picture, but you're not getting anybody to look at it. The number one way, if you're trying to build your name in this industry online, to shred your edge ranking, is to nonstop post about people joining your business. That's the number one way. Most marketers that I talk to, they don't spend a bunch of time watching TV. Most people who have the money that the people who watch TV wish they had didn't get there by sitting on the couch watching TV all day. So guess what they don't see? Commercials. Everybody likes to spend money, but nobody likes to be sold. The person who makes $1 million a month spends a lot more money than the person who makes $1 million a year. Everybody has problems retaining their money, regardless of their income level. So it's not because people are not willing to spend money. It's not that you're not phrasing it right. And for the Super Bowl, people remember the funniest commercials, not the products attached to the commercial. That branding, see, when you have that branding that Doritos has, you remember that Doritos did a funny commercial. You remember that Budweiser did a funny commercial. You remember that Coca-Cola did a funny commercial. But guess what? If you don't have that branding, you can't do that stuff and get results. All right? I just said a lot right there. You'll be able to play this back after recording. If you're watching it live, you'll be able to rewind and come back to it if you're watching the recording. Okay? So now, things that you should post, things that keep people coming to your page. Remember, if you can't constantly engage with 1,000 people, you need to have something that keeps people, that retains viewership, that retains interaction, and keep your edge ranking up. And people love cute, people love funny. Now, not everybody likes the same kind of funny, so if it is touchy, try and avoid those. You're always pissing off 50% of your network. And if your network that joins your business is your net worth, you're pissing off over 50% of your prospects. Because really, it's a third. 1/3 don't care, 1/3's pissed off, and 1/3's about it. And whichever one of the two extremes decides to get on your post first, that determines which way that other 1/3 goes. And negativity spreads much quicker than positivity does. So if there's a chance negativity might happen, avoid it at all costs like the plague, because those positive people you had will get turned off by the negative comments. All right? Now, an example of something cute. I saw this picture, I shared it. Now, notice the key as you look at this. There's no business links here on here. So, it says before you see what happened upstairs, I really love you. They're making a face. So, what I do, if I share a picture, I try and have text above it that goes with the picture. I said, anyone with a pet has seen this look before. Now, 53 other people liked it aside from the 4 people who liked it right here, and there's 17 additional comments. So there is, what was it, like 30 comments and 53 other people, 57 likes. So that's what was that, 87 notification hits. I didn't create the picture. I didn't put the wording on it. 87 hits. Guess what happens? Every single time somebody comments or likes this picture, it goes to the top of people's news feed. If I had a page full of things like this, every single day somebody would come back, they would come to the page, they would see this, all right? They're going to stay on the page because they're going to read this post first. I first want to get people to the page. So if they get here, I want to keep them there. Whatever they're looking at, I want them to stay on. I want them to then want to engage. And then I want them to feel comfortable enough to stay on my page and keep going. So if I had a page full of posts like these, how easy would it be to get 1,000 people to stay engaged? Let's just say you fell short of that and the number was 870 people to stay engaged. I just told you I had 87 hits on this. If I had 10 posts like this, that is 870 people engaged on my page. By the time I get to 15 posts, I have 1,000 people engaged with what I have going on.
Right.
I have more activity on this one post than 99% of the people who will ever see this has on their entire page for the last 2 weeks. Terrance, what's wrong with my ad on my page? I would tell you that there are people who commented or liked on this who have since taken a look at my opportunity. What do I say about business on here at all? Nothing. But guess what? Well, I can see everybody that engages. I can see their names. So I can track who's keeping up with me in my post, who's engaging. As people start to continuously come back, it doesn't matter if I've known them forever or if I've never met them or ever talked to them. If they're routinely liking and commenting on my stuff, that's that relationship right there. They're getting to know me. They're getting to know a side of me, and they like that side. So now when I send them a message, then I have an opening, a non-threatening opening, and I may not approach with business right away. All right, I may have an opportunity and an opening to do that, but people join people. So if you want people to message you about business, the best way to get them to message you and ask you about what you have going on in your business, or say they want to join in your business, is to get them in the habit of following you and feeling like they're communicating with you. And then when you message them, they'll message back, and an opening comes up in which they will message you back about your business. That makes sense? I hope it makes sense for you. All right?
Yeah.
And now you can see here, this one picture wasn't enough for me. Another key is I never like my post right away, because every time activity happens on the post, it goes to the top of news. Not everybody's online at the same point in time during the day. So when things are dying down, I'm busy. You see I have 99 plus notifications right here. It's like that. Every 30 minutes, I have 99 plus notifications. Every 30 minutes. I don't have time to check all my notifications. But since I'm busy at a completely different point in the day, all right, you can see this was at 9 p.m. 7.5 hours later, I posted something else. All right. Why did I do that? So it goes back the cute picture that draws everybody in, gets them to my page, gets them to stay on my page, gets them to engage. What that does is that gets me back at the top of the news feeds and it brings more people in. That's the Facebook funnel right there. The funnel is to your page. From there, it's up to you to connect with people. Also, not everybody who sees your post is going to like or comment. Not everybody that they're routinely coming back is going to like or comment. All right. So a point I want to touch upon, another reason why this is so important, why I'm spending so much time on it right now, is because the fortune is not in that connection. The fortune's not in the pitch. The fortune's not in that follow up that you do one time. The fortune's not even in follow ups. The fortune's in the following. I've had multiple 5-figure monthly earners under me in different businesses who had never done this industry before, who didn't sign up within 90 days of me sharing an opportunity with them. It wasn't because I was great at following up. The fortune is in the following. I didn't have anything posted about business on my page. They called me and they're like, "Are you still doing that thing?" And they signed up. You see? That's the magic of it. The fortune is in the following. All right, maybe I don't have time. Maybe I to follow everybody. Maybe I lose a list. But if I'm a follow worthy person, I'm not going to lose those people. Especially not when I can see everybody that's engaging in my stuff. All right. Now, as I scroll down, my next one, this guy right here. There's not much activity on here. He's not a marketer that know much about edge rank. He shared it only with his friends. But you can see that edge rank activity I'm talking about. This guy woke up to 50 notifications from me. Anything I post, I'm guarantee you I'm at the top of his news feed because nobody else is interacting and engaging with him that much on this page. He has like 25 activity hits and 10 messages. The last time I checked, I gave him 50 on one trip. So I'm guaranteed to be at the top of his news feed 24 hours a day with anything I do. So those non-marketers you want to convince, stop trying to pitch them. Make sure they can see all your posts and they come back to your page. All right. And picture messages. Those are great when you have pictures that are on topic with whatever the post is, and you remember the rule. Whatever the picture is, you want a wording that goes along with that picture. All right, that stands out to not only that person, but everybody that sees that post. All right. Um, this one, random business post. I'm not saying anything about signing up. I'm just, congratulations to myself. What was that? Another 40 activity hits and likes, 2 shares. Shares are bonus credit because you're getting likes and comments and shares. And then just over 21 comments. Hold on, let me we're gonna get some activity on this. I didn't see this. I don't get too many notifications to see notifications on my own post. Pardon me real quick so I can message or comment back. Because when the time comes for your company, what will you do with the $100,000 a month check? Well, and I'll tag him so he sees it. He comes back. That's bonus activity because he's gonna get a notification. I commented back as well as everybody who's already on here. He's gonna get a notification that I tagged him in there, and then there's gonna be bonus rating points for me not only commenting to him but also tagging him. That's a third little hit on activity ratings. So I'm about to boost me showing up in his newsfeed here real quick, and it's make it more personal. Take his last name out so it's like a conversation. Well, Paul, for me, I'm not planning to do anything too crazy with my earnings, as my vision, my dreams, my goals are much bigger than 100,000 USD on a monthly residual basis. Now, this is a guy who understands marketing. He worded things specifically. You always want to make sure you position yourself as an expert whenever you can, and you want to always try and be the sharper person. It's not even try; it's about doing it and being it. And so, I decided to take it up a level further than what he has, so I can pique his interest on the post, and everybody who sees it gets to the ratings as it pops in the news feed. They'll always see the last comment. It's going to intrigue them, but it's me being honest, not something I'm not. People join people, and it's hard to continuously practice being what you're not. Being you, let people get to meet you, see who you are, and more often than not, people will buy into you being an honest you than they will you trying to hype anything up. All right? And so, well, Paul, for me, I'm not planning to do anything too crazy with my earnings, as my vision and my dreams and goals are much bigger than 100,000 USD on a monthly residual basis. In fact, it would not be enough to afford me only one thing at the mouse. Dang it.
When does that do something? Oh, why?
Yeah, I move the mouse and do it. Not, there we go. In fact, it will not be enough to afford me one of my milestones in life, which is to live a year on 10% and give away 90%. If I told you the rest of them right now, you might not believe me, as not everyone can see the same vision. I can almost guarantee you Paul either comments back or messages me back. If he comments back and he's seriously interested in finding out more about what I have going on, I'm going to wind up getting a message. All right. Again, branding is huge. All right. So this guy, posted this. I reposted the picture, and he got 24 notifications, and they all say just now. It doesn't say 1 minute, 2 minutes. This is while it was going on. 24 notifications. This pick, look, took about 30 seconds to accomplish. All right, right here again, another 22 likes, 19 comments. What is that right there? When it comes to business, this is something in which it plants a seed in business. Maybe there's people there on the fence who are not in marketing. Maybe there's people who are marketing and on the fence, not having success. People having branding issues, positioning as an expert, activity, edge ranking, people following you, all that encompassed in one thing. And I didn't say anything about my business, but I got several messages, people asking me either for help, advice, or about business. So if you need help with what you post for business, right here. We just looked at a couple posts on my personal page. We're gonna speed this up a little bit. I want to take a look at somebody else's page. Now, this person right here, they've had huge success. Anytime, just what's documented and bonuses, because income disclaimers are always in order. Anytime you talk about finances, and then you can't share specifics, they call enticing and derelicts, which is an offense. So if you're trying to bait people by sharing your exact numbers that you've made, you can be shut down for that if somebody reports you. All right, but bonuses. And when you look at the number of people needed to hit these different bonuses. You come back up here and they say, over 1,000 member team. When you look at the bonuses, you know where they're at. They can say bonuses because that's like ranks in companies. That's why they have those ranks, and these bonus plans as pictures so people can see success people are having without people getting in trouble. Now, this is a business post only for his person's friends. Um, for them, it's more about helping to build the names of other people in their downline than it is necessarily for them being able to build their business. Their business will run on autopilot. If they fell off the edge of a cliff tomorrow, it doesn't matter. So if you're not there, this isn't going to work for you. As you can see, there's 22 activity hits here and likes, and like another 24 in terms of comments. All right, which is much less than a picture of the dog. And this is a person that's over actively following him because they have over 1,000 people in their business. Now, edge ranking, real quick. Who's the first person to comment on this? There's people that they take advantage of on my post, and the reason being is because they're understanding some edge ranking. When you comment first, everybody that comments afterwards, you get a notification for. Anytime you're getting a notification, that's an edge rank point for you. Every time you give one and you get one, that's an edge rank point for you. So, this person right here, guess what I did? I made them a close friend. I get notifications. So it pops up over here. I don't have to, I'm too busy to check these. How am I everywhere? Well, I make people close friends. And if I'm on Facebook, it pops up on the screen. I can click it. I can get there first. All right, I had enough time to type something. I actually erased what I was going to type, put another picture, took that off, put this picture, another one up there, and got that there first. And now every other comment, I'm getting a notification on. I got 9 likes on my picture comment. How effective are those? What I wrote went in theme with my picture. So I've got bonus credit right here for everybody on there. It doesn't matter if they're in the same business or not. When people are having success and successful people are connected with you, success only attracts more of the same. It's all about attracting people. That's what I call it attraction marketing. All right. What did I do? I got back on here, commented again, so I can get some more bonus ones. I can keep the post on. Why? I'll put it up there first. As long as this post stays at the top of newsfeed, the more people are going to see I commented first, and the more free bonus points I'm going to get. And not everybody that sees this or comments on this am I friends with yet. I rarely send friend requests anymore. In my last 1,000 friendships made, I'm always deleting people. In my last 1,000 friendships made, I sent 20 requests. All right? Why? Because I'm everywhere and I'm everywhere first. Okay? And now I let the activity get going on the page. I'm too busy to stay on one page. And I come back and I make sure, boom, what I do. Another picture comment and the message goes with it. I got 2 likes on it. And not bad for dropping that at 3 o'clock in the morning. Who's online at 3 o'clock in the morning? But guess what? Because nobody's online at 3 o'clock in the morning, everybody who this will be at the top of their notifications and the top of their news feed, when they wake up, this is still going to be at the top. And what's the first thing they're going to see? They're going to see this. And if they view all comments, I'm going to be first. Guess what's going to happen? I'm getting bonus points by keeping somebody else's post going. When you go to people's pages and you do that, they appreciate you for it if they're in marketing, and you're getting something out of it too. So quit being selfish. All right? Once you have these engagements built and people can see your stuff, one of the quickest ways to get a bunch of engagement is to change your profile picture. A lot of big name marketers, they change their profile picture, boom, 100, 200 people, they're on it. They're commenting on that. All right? We scroll down a little bit. This person's page, all right? They say I don't do a lot of Facebook marketing, but while I look down here, every name right here is a credible name. Obviously yourself. We're disregarding me liking it. Jamie Lynn Thomas, this absolute all-star, rock star, phenomenal recruiter. Her network is just absolutely just ridiculous. And another big name marketer. If you're in marketing, you're in internet marketing, you know that name as well. 32 other people all day. All right. So it's not just the quantity, it's the quality. These are the people that people follow. These are the people liking this that have hundreds and thousands of followers. Right here, she posts a picture. All right. The text goes with the picture. And the people with thousands of followers are seeing this. Guess what happens to her edge rank? All right. Oh, wait. We see another. What is that? Oh man, a picture comment by me, and that goes right along with it. So, just the power of the network on this one right here. This might leverage by the time it's all said and done. This person had something they shared, and it hit like 300 comments in just over an hour. I wasn't there first, but please believe I dropped about 20, um, 20 photos with wording that went with the photo on there to catch some of that rating. And I think the next day I had like 20 friend requests. Not everybody was friends with me or this person that was on there, but when you have quality who has thousands of followers, when they have activity on something, their people see that. It goes to the top of their news feed. So now you're leveraging your entire network's network, and now you're starting to expand, and friends of friends are starting to notice you. So you're not taking away from your people, but you're getting other people actively involved in what you have going on. Somebody else shared something, they tagged it, landed on this person's page. Um, nothing about marketing, no links about marketing, anything like that. Again, you see a lot of activity. All right, so those are definitely some of the keys to look at. And with attraction marketing, how do these people have followings? The people with thousands of followers hardly ever post about business. If they do, it's usually them congratulating somebody in their business for hitting the next rank, not them patting themselves on the back, because people see that's egotistical. And what starts to happen is that doesn't give you the credibility that you're looking for. It doesn't make people really want to follow you. So that's definitely something that you want to watch out for as well. I know I've covered a lot. People join people. Edge rank, when people join people, they don't join because of your posts. They join because of your conversations that relate. Let your activity build your relationship, and then talk to them, in a message. And that's how you start to leverage yourself. You don't have to be a huge success to build a following. All right, if you've not had success in business, don't tell people that, they won't know. All right, and that's huge right there. For my personal team, because I'm giving out a lot of value for free for my personal team. Please believe there's video playlists, not just from me, but from other marketers, because I believe in always hearing the same message from the same person starts to get boring, and people stop hearing the message. So maybe you've built huge teams, you know all this stuff, but you talk too much. Have you ever been on my conference calls? All right, the calls in which I talk the longest, I have more people talk before I do. I don't even talk to everyone on my conference calls. Why? You're hearing the message from the same person is boring. It devalues you. And when you devalue yourself, why would people join you? What are you offering your people? All right? And so just notice that. If you're on my team and you're seeing this and you have no idea what those handouts or videos are, that lets me know how plugged in that you've been. But message me. If you want more, because I do, some people, they're so likable, it doesn't matter what business they're in, whose team they're on. I still help them like it was somebody on my own team because I believe in people. Coincidentally, a lot of these people, when I switch businesses, doesn't matter how happy they are or are not in theirs, they start to wonder if they should join me or not because that's the value I've given them. What more could they get by being on my team? They position themselves as an expert whenever possible. But now I've done a lot of talking, so I'm actually going to pass this over to the world famous Miss Kimberly Tilley. Man, man, I could go on and on trying to, introduce her, reintroduce her. This woman is just, you're going to see her in a lot of stuff with a lot of really big names. Lead marketers for companies. She's already had videos and hangouts with lead marketers in several companies. She's had a lot of success her circle is full of successful people. All right, while you're worrying about how much money's in your bank account, she's on the mindset of worrying about Forbes rankings. All right, I was gonna let you guys know that there are few stars that shine brighter in the universe than Miss Kimberly Tilley, and I'm gonna actually let her have the mic, and so I can learn something as well tonight too. Um, so yeah, floor is yours.
So that's why you're so good at what you do, because you edify people all the time. You make people feel really good. And people like to feel good, right? So that's why people follow you as well. So if you want a following on Facebook or on any social media at all, edify other people. Make people feel good, because it could be a bad day for them. I know some folks, they'll just look at it and they'll say, you know what, I really needed to read that today. Even if it's a part of your story, people want to know about you. They want to see pictures of you, pictures of your pets, pictures of what you're doing, just a, just a snapshot. Every now and then, of food, what you like to eat, what's on your mind, just different things like that. They want to get to know you. And another thing I do on my posts is I ask a lot of questions. So at the end of the post, I'll ask a question so that engages people more. So that, when people do see it, they are engaging. And I do engage on other people's posts as well. Just like Terrance said, I mean, he's everywhere, literally. I mean, everywhere you look, he's there because he puts the time in. And literally, guys, if you sat down and took an hour of your time each day and just focused on doing that and edifying and just being there, even if it's a really high-level marketer, they're going to start to see you. They're going to start to notice your face. And I try to keep things congruent. So if I'm on Facebook, I keep it the same on Pinterest, and I keep it the same on my YouTube channel, and I keep it the same on Instagram. Everything has the same picture, my face, so that when they go, they're like, oh, there she is again, there she is again. So that if you're posting, they're like, how are you all over the place? It's your face. It may not, you have a brand, you've got, social media hype man, but some people don't, and I'm looking for one. So guys, if you have any suggestions, inbox me. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And it's engagement. That's what it's mostly about for me. And belief. Believe that you can do it. I mean, if you see people that are out there that are at your level, whenever I go to events, I want to be the person that's at the lowest part of, the ladder. I want everybody else to be above me, because that's where you learn. You don't want to go and be the smartest person in the room. You want to go where you're not necessarily the smartest person in the room. I've only been online since 2011. I'm brand pretty much new to it. And when I first started, I knew nothing. I didn't grow up with a computer. I mean, my son literally knows more than I do about computers and, social media. He even talks to me about YouTube. He talks about having commercials and stuff on your videos and Google AdWords and things like that. He says, Mama, if I see your video and there's a commercial, I'm clicking off. I'm not going to stay on there. So then I go and look, okay, how do I change that so that I don't have commercials on the beginning of my video? And he knows all about subscribers, and he's only 8. So it just goes to show that even kids notice that. And I mean, it surprises me every day at how much he knows. So always be willing to learn and listen. Don't always be the talker, be the listener a lot. And like I said, be genuine, be yourself. I know when I first started in this industry, a lot of people were like, oh, don't wear your makeup, don't do your hair, don't do this. But that's who I am. I mean, that's what makes me feel confident. That's what makes me feel comfortable. So that comes across in the video or whatever I'm doing. If I'm even in a conversation with somebody on Facebook, I I try to let that come through. I let my personality come through and talk to people like they're my friends. Because nobody wants to feel like they're being sold. Like Terrance said, people love to buy, but they hate to be sold. So if you have people that are coming to you, I mean, bonus. Like now I'm getting 10 calls a day for my YouTube videos just because I put my Facebook link in my video and I tell them to come and check me out on Facebook. And I mean, I do have 5,000 friends. I'm constantly deleting and adding new people, and I have a huge waiting list, so it's time consuming. But they come and see what you're doing on Facebook. That's a huge thing. Even on other social media, always invite them back to where you have the strongest hold. Like if you're really strong on Facebook, invite them to come and look at your Facebook page because they'll come and see what you're doing. Make sure that your settings, if you're a marketer, you want your settings to be set on public so that everybody can see what you're doing. And I recommend that you don't have a lot of like family and stuff like that on there because sometimes people can get offensive and marketers can be crazy and we're up all night and things like that. And I would keep it to professional people, like people that you want to market with, people that you relate to. And you're not going to relate to everybody. Not every marketer is going to be somebody that you can relate to. But that's where you learn. And for me, personally, I go in with that confidence and that belief that that's why I'm going to an event, or that's why I'm showing up on a hangout, or that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I know that I'm going to do it. And you have that confidence. Guys, people have like spidey senses, If you're not confident, they're going to know it. They're going to feel it that you don't have that confidence. And if you're doing videos, don't feel like you're talking to like thousands of people. Just talk to one person. That's how I started. When I first started in this industry, I was told by a very huge marketer in the industry, because I was terrified. I had to do a meeting. I had to get out and stand up in front of a whole bunch of people. And he said, just pretend that you're talking to one person. And if you have the ability to change just that one person's life, just think of the impact that you're having. And then everything after that, that's what I do. Every time I do a video, I'm talking to you. That's the way I make people feel. And that's the way I want to feel. When I go to an event or when I watch a video, I don't want to feel like it's salesy. I want it to feel like they're talking to me. It's coming from their heart and their soul. It's what their passion is. It's what their vision is. And you'll see most of the huge marketers out there that they would do it even if they weren't making money doing it. It's because they love it so much. And I know for me, I can't imagine my life any other way. I love what I do. And people say, well, you're online or you're grinding or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but we have so much fun doing it. And sometimes you think, oh, I'm going to go offline, but I'll tell you, I miss it when I'm away. This is my family. Like, I've built a family online. And it doesn't take that long. Like, how long were you offline, Terrance? You had built an offline business, and you were online, and then you went off again, right? And you've just recently come back.
Well, I was offline, and what I would do is like I don't. If you're not using Twitter, I used to say why, but I don't. I, I would recommend if you're getting started, the two platforms to use, and I don't use Instagram. I've never had an Instagram. People look at me funny all the time, but I'm so busy on Facebook that I pretty much had to let my Twitter fade away. Um, but I was building an offline business, and I would go online to connect with people that were in driving distance, so I can go do one-on-ones or get them to an open house or a presentation. I try not to invite strangers to people's homes, so it was 99% of the time a one-on-one sit down. because the hardest person to get to a weekly meeting or an event is a complete stranger. But they'll meet you for a cup of coffee at Starbucks or something like that. And I would use Twitter to find people in cities in which we had events and we had people. And I would use Twitter to build relationships and talk to people. What wound up happening, like you said, it doesn't take much time. Um, Basically, my business, they kind of fell apart when I was full time and mentally unemployable. So I said, we got to make something happen. We got to make something work. And I wound up, I want to say it took mm, almost 2 weeks. But after almost 2 weeks, I was able to get 20 to 30 people a day on a conference calls,
That's a
on
lot.
webinar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the opportunity was $400 for people to get started. So I had high numbers, but I knew that not a lot of people could afford to get started right away. So I could close somebody out, and I would, man, hard closes, the sweetest closes you ever heard in your life. And it would mean nothing because the person won't be able to get involved until the next month or two. And by then, a lot can happen or a lot cannot happen. So that's when I started to realize, the close doesn't matter all that much. The person who's presenting the message is what matters the most. And when I'm being the right person, we'll be able to talk constantly and continuously. Whether they join me or not doesn't matter. We're friends. And the longer we're friends, and if we start talking, we connected or reconnected, and we were talking about business, then I'm still positioned as an expert, but now I'm an expert who's a really good friend, and how they feel really comfortable being able to work with. But still, it was primarily offline. I would go to the malls a lot. And I'm like, I don't really know how to approach people, and I would go like, "Hey, I like those shoes," you know. And my opening was, where'd you get them? Well, we're at a mall that has 20 different shoe stores. Like, all right, the conversation wasn't going as far there. So, as I got sharper and learned different distinctions, I would start to be able to compliment people on their watch. Um, maybe it's a dress shoe. Maybe the way their shoes are laced. Different things that most people wouldn't notice to have a conversation. So for me,
Made them feel
in terms
good.
of
Made them feel good again, right?
right, the better people
Yeah.
feel about the message you present, the better you make people feel, the better they feel about you. Um,
Yeah.
but then in terms of being all online, I walked away from the industry for a while, and I came back online, or actually, I should say, I came online this summer. Twitter completely changed. I had no followers, so my Twitter base was dead. I had no reason to use it. I wasn't in marketing. I used it for marketing. Originally on Twitter, I was one of the original big accounts on Twitter. Had businesses following me and all that. My team follow back started. I was one of the first people on that started all these different teams and crazy you have going now. And that was just for social reasons, just crazy stuff. So I come back. That account, I don't even know how to log into it anymore. Those followers have since left because it's 6, 7 years since I used that. And then the business one, I think I had like 50 followers, but I was following like 1,800 people. Until you have, I want to say it's like 1,500 followers, you can't surpass following 2,000 people. So I had a problem.
Right.
And the method I use no longer works because they redid a lot of the functionality on Twitter. And I got into a business. It was about 3:30 in the morning when I saw it. 3:45 in the morning, I was signing up, and I'm like, what do I do? I already know how my warm market is. Terrible. I don't have a list. I don't have an email list. I don't have any Twitter followers. I've never went exclusively Facebook before. What do I do? And 15 minutes later, I had 4 people under me in business and hit the next level. That first day, I recruited over 20 people. Um, and as that week progressed, I put, I think it was another 12 or 14 people in. Um, I wound up moving to something else. Um, and my first day, where I put 24 people in, my first day in the business, had a downline of 84 people. When I went to bed my first day.
Wow.
And you can say, well, you were in something else though, Terrance. Well, it doesn't matter because there's nobody that Terrance values more than Terrance. And so just because you're switching to something doesn't mean I'm switching to it. I might go to that company, but it doesn't mean I want to work with you again. You know? Even if I like working with you now, um, so when people focus on just signing people up, they're doing everybody a disservice and they're handicapped. Because when somebody like me meets your people, they're gonna want to join me.
Right.
And if you switch to something else and I'm in the same company, they're going to want to join me. You know? Now, does that mean I work well with everybody? No. I turn people away because I tell them I don't think it's going to work. I've turned away 15 people in one day and the next day complained because I wasn't getting enough recruits. But it saved us all the headache. I'd rather be your friend than your business partner sometimes. I referred 15 people to somebody last week. I didn't ask for referrals back. I couldn't work with these people, but this person could.
Right.
So it's not me experimenting with anything. It was like, in the crunch, what do I do? Well, I just saw an online opportunity. The product was all online marketing materials, so I'm brand new at being all online. But it's just me having connected with so many people. And I chose the college I went to because of Facebook. I wanted to get on Facebook that bad that I signed my life away to a bad decision, close decision, get an email address, a valid college email address on Facebook to connect with people. Um, and I just applied a lot of what I learned offline, online, except for the difference is it's not phone calls. You don't just call somebody, they pick up. Um, that's not how this works. So I'll apply a lot of stuff here, but it's night and day different things. So there's a lot that I'm still learning, but I'm a fast learner. Why? Because I've I've got to become an expert to help my people.
Right.
If you want people to join you, you become an expert. And before I joined that company, I don't count this as me being in something. I put was it 21 people into something in over a weekend. Didn't know I really want to do marketing or not. I put them in. I was like, I don't even know if I'm really going to do this. So don't do anything unless I say I'm going to do this. And I said I'm not going to do this. And I was not going to get back into marketing until that other opportunity came to me at 3:30 that morning. So I don't count those people as me having results. Those people didn't go to anything else with me. But if you do the math, since it has officially been summer, that's been maybe 3 months. I think that's like 100 and something people I've actually recruited into business. Now, everything I do is not the same taste for everybody. So these are proven methods in a short period of time. It doesn't take that long to learn. If you're willing to earn, you got to be willing to learn. And the quicker you want to earn, the quicker you got to be willing to learn.
And you spend a lot of time with doing self-development as well.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Like, how important is that? Like, I remember when I started going to events, and the first thing that the leaders or the speakers would say when they got on the stage, they started talking about mindset. I'm like, you know what? This is my time. I want to learn how to sell. I want to learn how to do what they're doing. And it was like, I was at the event for the whole weekend, and every single person that came on that stage, that was the first thing they talked about was mindset and personal development and reading and listening to audios and plugging in and different things. And I didn't understand what they were talking about because I said, this doesn't make sense. But now it does, because success leaves clues, right? And you want to learn. And if you want to be able to speak better and just present better, you can model people that you see, like in these videos, and that's how you learn. I mean, that's how children learn. They model their parents, they model their teachers, they model people that they look up to. So it's just like in this industry, if you want to, get to the next level, sometimes that really helps. Find somebody that you connect with, somebody that you feel you have a connection with, and model what they do. Follow them every day. See what they're posting. See what their habits are. See what they're doing. Are they going to events? Are they on Google Hangouts? Are they posting on Facebook? What are they doing? And just model that, and you'll see your success go a lot faster. Because I know when I first started to do videos, that's what I did. I would watch other people's videos and get ideas. Now I put my own spin on it, but still, I watched how they, their movement and your body language has a lot to do with it as well. I mean, that's a whole other different thing, but still, it's modeling. If you want to, achieve that success, model people. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's not faking it till you make it or whatever. It's just learning.
Right.
And like, if you aspire to be like that person, then watch the personal development, videos, or plug into their audio. I know even when I work out or when I do stuff, I always am listening to an audio or something that's helping me with my self-development, giving me new ideas or something that maybe I've heard 100 times, but at that moment it just clicks in my brain. It's like, oh. So I would say number one, self-development every single day. Like as soon as you get up, for sure. Because I notice you, Terrance, even in how you speak, like how you write things on Facebook, you know that you have knowledge and that, you put a lot into yourself. You're still quite young. So that's impressive to, seasoned marketers as well, to see how well you present yourself and how well you come across. And I think that's important too. Even on the phone, that's a good skill to have, is that you have knowledge. Knowledge is power. But you have to put it to use.
That's so funny you said that because the topic from our call today was empower yourself.
Oh, was it?
Yes, I swear to goodness it was. And what you just said, I spent about 15 minutes basically, breaking that down, and this knowledge is power. Man, it's I can't even. I could go another 5 hours on that. Anything that has to do with becoming a better person, I'm extremely passionate about, and I could spend hours on. Um, man,
It
but that
shows in your
personal
marketing,
development.
though.
Oh yeah,
It
and
does. It
personal
shows in your
development,
marketing.
like for
Mm-hmm.
me, oh my gosh, I didn't know 1% of the things I know now when I started on this journey. Um, I just told you, all right, over 100 people in one season of the year. Um, Nobody I've worked with is anybody I've ever worked with in the past. So I'm coming from a place of no credibility. I have no back office pictures to show them, no rank advancements, any of that. The only thing I have to rely on is my heart and me. You know,
Yeah.
me, people joining me, my heart. But one of those things that I had was the personal development, and I spent a decent amount of time away from the industry. All right, and what I can tell you is 6 months ago, like if I was on a hangout 6 months ago and it was recorded, you'd be like, no, there's just no way. You wouldn't believe it. You absolutely wouldn't believe it. What started happening is you know music. I'm a big believer in music. Music is life. Nobody accomplished anything of worth from a comfort zone or without sacrifice. So if you think you're not going to sacrifice, you're wrong. But 6 months ago, um, playlists are huge, so I can, I don't have to keep constantly clicking and choosing and selecting songs and all that. Different crowds, different songs. Everybody's something a little bit different and all that. Um, and so it wasn't 6 months ago I created a playlist. It was 6 months ago on which the playlist, like the list, came in position, and I would play that all the time. And every single song has something inspirational, motivational, something I could take out of. And what happened was, that stuff playing repeatedly, my subconscious, I'm like, man, the seed of marketing was planted again because I was not receptive at all before this time. So talking about what you put into your mind playing a big part. You may not be able to start with picking up and opening up Hubert Humphrey's book. That's a very hard read. Think and Grow Rich is a very hard read. Tony Robbins, he's great if you've been in personal development. He's an easy read or a quality read that's simple to read if you can understand that. If you're brand new, you might not understand a lot of that stuff. A lot of stuff that Zig Ziglar says might go over your head. He does have a lot of great stuff for beginners and all that. So if only thing you do is listen to music, well, what kind of music are you listening to? To plant that seed, all right, to help to start to get you in the right mindset, motivation. You plant music, you feel good. You get mojo going, get your swagger up, your swagger right, whatever, and you're feeling good. And so that first weekend, I was playing music, and with a hint of personal development. All right, they say leaders are readers. I prefer earners are learners. Why? Because I don't read as much anymore. Houghton Bugs. All right, in terms of offline marketing, he's the most paid marketer, multiple millions of dollars a month, and he doesn't read whole books. He reads parts of books and he masters parts of books, but he doesn't read a whole book start to finish. He hates reading, but there he goes. For me, if I sit down to read a book, I plan on reading the book. Like how many pages? Cool. Well, leave me alone. I've got 365 pages to read a day. Type of mindset that I have, and that sucks sometimes, especially since I'm so busy. But I switched from music to, I had some personal development in there when I got back because I know how important it is. So if I'm back in the industry, I need my personal development going. What happened was in the month of July, I had a no music month, only personal development. So 22 hours a day, personal development was playing, including while I was asleep. So I no choice but to wake up and learn something before I got out of bed. And then I'll start dropping nuggets and text messages to people, not just people on my team, but people I love and care and respect and true friends. Like here, if I can add something to them today, I can change the world today by helping these people. And what it did was it helped to speed up, that personal development I was personally taking in, putting into my mind. As the next month rolls around, August rolls around, I think I listened to 5 songs in the entire month of August. All right, September is almost over, and 3 days ago, I'll be honest, I spent a couple hours listening to music. Um, Yesterday, I spent about 45 minutes listening to music. All the rest of that's personal development. But there's multiple kinds because you might not, some people can't read that well, right? They struggle to use big words. That's not a reason to not make it. YouTube has a library that is just priceless of stuff. If you don't know what to look for on there, because not everything is personal development, it's the personal development that you need to be looking for.
Right.
So if you need ideas, and I will help lead you in the right direction. And when I say that, I might tell you some names to look up, and by the time you can look it up, I'll probably message you 15 different YouTube links. Like, here's a playlist for you.
Yeah.
I might send you a playlist, you know? I might send you a playlist, depending on, but you got to be honest with me. Let me know where you are so I know what to give to you. And when you master that, come back for more, and I'll have more to give to you. All right? That's where I'm at with that. That's huge. Okay.
The songs are stories, really.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
They're stories.
Definitely. And then another thing, audiobooks. Obviously, audiobooks.
Yeah.
Most of the audiobooks I listen to, they're tough. I have an 11-hour audiobook. All right, there's a video on YouTube. Most people aren't ready for it. In 8 hours. Um, I was of a team chat, and everybody's talking, um, which is we're talking about business and techniques and mindset. So there's active personal development through communication. You see, a lot of the people I have on there actually are making videos, audio products, video products. They're creating a lot of material to help give back to people. They're creating personal development material. So a lot of times, the best personal development I can personally have is just to be plugged in with my team. And
True.
that's real. I also just finished the 8 hour joint, and they're like, "Wait, what? That's possible?" I told you I would master it. They're like, "Dude, you just found that like 5 days ago." I know. I told you I would master it. That's what I'm working on. And the 11-hour audio book, I've never fully completed that. I've made it to with about 45 minutes left to go on that one. And so, what makes Terrance so successful? I had a mentor. I'll give him a shout out real quick. His name is Marlon Hurd out of Atlanta, Georgia. Um, this man right here said, Terrance, you will never be able to earn or maintain what you have not learned yet. Why is it people win the lottery and they wind up homeless? Why is it athletes wind up getting jobs when they're done playing sports? The reason is they haven't done the personal development. They haven't learned how to maintain that earning. All right? And for you and I aren't blessed in those skills, guess what? You will never earn what you have not learned. So the people who make the most have learned the most. And don't learn it for yourself. Learn it so you can teach it to somebody else.
I was just
What I
gonna
heard
say
was,
that. Yeah. I was just gonna say that. Learn, do, teach. That's how you do it. You learn it, you do it, you teach it. You learn it, you
yes.
do it, you teach it. Yeah.
What Terrance heard was, all right. So Terrance wants to earn money. Terrance wants to earn more money than most people do. So Terrance needs to learn more than most people do. But I need to learn it to teach it. So what Terrance heard was, Terrance needs to learn more than everybody else so he can teach people to teach people to teach people to open up schools that teach people how to educate professors that teach people to open up schools that teach people to teach.
Yep.
That's what I heard. Forget giving a man a fish. I want his great, 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 great grandchildren to be able to teach people to fish. And so that's how I approach learning. So for me, there's times in which somebody called me, not even joking, they're they were working on something very, very huge, very, very huge, and they called me twice, and I see it, and I'm almost done with what I'm working on personal development, and I see my phone screen light up, and I'm like, man, whatever, it's more important. They called me again, whatever's more important. So if they call me a third time, I'm gonna have to pick up. They sent me a Facebook message. I said, cool, I can finish gaining this knowledge. And what wound up happening was a question they had. I just reached a new level of mastery by not breaking me, educating me, so I could help them with something that actually wound up helping them to make more money and help other people make more money. And all within an hour. How important is that 5, 10 minutes, the extra 10 minutes, How important is it? That extra 10 minutes would have cost me a couple $100 that day.
It's really important. It's important to invest in you. It is, and people
Yep.
don't realize that. You have to invest in yourself. You can't keep give, give, give. You have to replenish, and you have to keep giving to yourself. And that's how I broke through with video marketing, because I was looking on YouTube all the time. How do I do this? How do I do that? And I thought, you know what? If I'm looking, there's other people out there looking as well that are just coming online that don't know how to do it. So I'm going to learn, I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to teach it. And that's, yeah. And then you get better at it, and better, and better, and better at it. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. And I had a break there for a little while. I went through a tough time, and I stopped doing video. And I'll tell you, it took me some time to get back into that groove again because, you know, you're not used to it. So I just had to get back into replenishing my mind and my, you know, everything that I was doing daily. And then I would do it myself. Like I would shoot a video, or I would write a blog post or an article or whatever. And then I would teach people how to do that as well. So when people come to me and they say, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do a video on. And I say, well, what are you looking for? What are your struggles? What are your problems? And what are you looking online for? Because I guarantee you, there's other people that are out there looking for the same thing. So when you learn it, do it, then teach it. And it helps a lot of people.
Definitely.
Solve that problem.
Definitely. And one of those points, you know, because I talked about, first off, building those engagements, relationships, actually connecting with people, and then being able to bring value, positioning yourself as an expert. People say, well, experience, I'm not an expert though. I don't know much. Well, what you need to do is, if that's where you're at, I don't care what you have to say about your sponsor and your upline. They're not the sponsor and upline for you if you can ever say that statement unless you got involved in the last 72 hours. After 72 hours and you're still in a business and you don't have anything to share, there's a problem. There's a problem. Or either it's you or it's your upline. If you've been around for a little bit amount of time and you are starting to consider yourself a marketer and you don't have any value that you can bring, what I want you to do is I want you to first off see if that's really the case, because most of the time, 90% of the time, people freak out. They're freaking out for the wrong reason, because life is 90% our perception and how we react to it. So if you can honestly say that you're in that honest 10%, I will honestly say I don't care if I'm your sponsor and you have the wrong sponsor. But before you make that decision, what I want you to do is I want you to figure out if you're in that 10% or if you're in that 90%. Have you been suggested personal development? Did it help you? Okay, maybe you're not the expert, but guess what? If somebody doesn't have any, if they're in that 10% and you meet them, guess what you can do? You can share with them that same YouTube video I'm willing to send you. You can send them that same ebook. You can tell them to go to Barnes & Nobles and buy that same book that you read. And if it helped you, chances are it's going to help them. And the same person who gave that to you, recommended that to you, when you finish it, you probably naturally want to ask them for more, right? So what's the easiest way to position yourself as an expert? Remember when I said quit being selfish because you get something in return? Don't do it to get anything in return. Do it to just do it, because people follow great people. It might not be now, but eventually. You know? So if you give that out and they want to come back and they want more, guess what? If you've given it out, you should already win. You should already gotten more, so you have more to give them. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
And now the master is the person whose video it is, whose audio it is, whose book it is. It doesn't matter. But you brought that value, so you're the expert who's guiding them down the right path. And so they're going to keep coming back to you for more. You know, and one weekend, I had 8 people I recruited. 5 of them, they joined me in business. What do I mean by that? three of them they knew what they were signing up for. One of the sharpest people I've ever met in this industry at any income level ever. The way this person joined my team is we were talking about personal development. That's all we talked about for like 2.5 days, like hours at a time. Personal development. And then, or no, I had a chat going on with a meeting of minds, beautiful minds, who just so happened to be a part of my team. And I told this person, I said, "Oh my gosh, you would absolutely love this conversation that's going on right now. It's like an online mastermind. It's like 24 hours a day. I would so love to introduce you to these people and plug you in." This person said, "Okay, cool." I said, "But I can't because you're not on the team." Now, you let me know when you're ready to take the red pill, but I just want to warn you, after I plug you in, you meet these people, and you experience what you would experience, which comes with that, you would never be able to live a blue pill lifestyle ever again. This person said, "Morpheus, I'm ready." I never told them the name of the company. I never told them the product. I never told them how much it cost. And 5 minutes later, they were my newest personally sponsored person on the team. It was 100% off of the value I brought. It wasn't about the company I had. It wasn't about the sponsor I had. It wasn't about all the other stuff that you make 90% of your stuff out to be. 0% of that ever came up in the conversation. This person joined, and let me tell you right now, currently, this person is the biggest part of my income today. It's from this person. People join people.
They do.
And the value that you bring can determine a lot.
Yeah.
And you can recruit people who respect you by bringing value.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Strategic. Yeah, I'm very strategic now about who I join.
Definitely.
I just don't join anybody. And I do it because of the person. Like you said, it's not because of the product or the company or maybe the comp plan. I won't lie. It makes a difference. Yeah, it's the person. It is the person. And I mean, the last thing that I just did, I'd never worked with this person before, but I watched him on Facebook. I watched what he was doing, and he was giving value, and he was everywhere, and I was like, okay, he's starting to pique my interest, because he was coming after me to, he wanted me to work with him, and he kept saying to me, "I want to work with you, I want to work with you," and I'm like, yeah, I'm not ready yet, I don't know what it is, or we were already in the same business. And I said, well, the day will come when we can work together, and opportunities that we can. And that happened, and when he, talked to me, I said, absolutely. Did I get pitched by other people about the same opportunity? Yeah, a lot of other people. But I already knew. I said, it doesn't matter. My mind was made up already. And, I just knew. I said, I want to work with this person, and that was the decision, because I knew what value he gave the community and what value he could give to me, what I could learn from him, because he's been online for 17 years.
Right.
He's been a marketer for 17 years. So I'm like, okay, I can learn something from him. So that's why I joined him. So, we don't always know everything. And he tracked me down. He was the one that wanted me to work with him. But that's what I'm saying. We all offer different values. People come to you for different things. Not everybody's going to be attracted to your personality, but that's okay. That's fine. There's going to be so many more out there that are, and that don't take it personal. And I think that's where a lot of people get turned off in the industry, because that's their greatest fear, is to be rejected. And once they learn that rejection is just learning, all your no's are teaching you how to get yes. That's what I found. So I learned from, okay, that person said no. Why did they say no? And I'd analyze it and then change it around, and then I'd know. And you need to be an investigator, especially on Facebook. Like, I can't tell you how many people message me, and I mean, they'll message me about something, and I'll say, have you not like looked on my wall to see anything about what I do or who I am or anything? It makes a big difference if you go onto somebody's wall and just do a little bit of research about them, so that you can strike up a conversation and make it about them, make it personal, make them feel good, let them know that you know what part of the country they're from or what country they're from, and just the little simple things like that. Yeah, it makes a huge difference because that's such a turn off. Like if someone's inboxing you and you're already in the opportunity or something, and you've been talking about it, you have videos on it, and then they pitch you, and it's like, have you not, seen anything? And they say to you, I've been following you for such a long time, and I'd really love for you to, and then like, obviously you haven't. So it's like, be an investigator and investigate that person a little bit first before you do business with them, and maybe you'll discover you don't want to. Like Karen said, there was people that you don't want to do business with, and that's the same way I am now. I don't do business with everybody because sometimes they cause you more headaches or drama or just energy. Some people are energy vampires and they just suck the life out of you. So I want people that elevate and inspire and make you feel good, and that everyone in the team is on that same level. And of course, you're not going to all be on that same level every day, but there's going to be somebody that can, bring you up and lift you up. And if that person is down, you're there to lift them. So that's what I found in business as well. It's just like
Yeah,
in life, same thing.
definitely. And I promise you guys we'll let you guys go soon here. But one of those things that came to mind for me, um, because I'm on conference calls every day, hangouts usually multiple times a day. Um, I'm always giving away so much, but I always have so much more for my team, and so much more for one-on-one. Because even my calls, I give away more value on my calls than I do on the internet. But on my team prospects joining calls, and we don't talk about business or companies on the calls. And a lot of people they're getting a lot of recruits that way. Um, it's an inspiration empowerment call, so sometimes the value you have to bring might just be putting a smile on somebody's face, making them feel good. Um, and I do have a one training call a week with my team. But I work a lot in Messenger. Um, it's crazy. I give away so much value, and it's like, well, how do I never run out of stuff? Well, because if I would let my entire YouTube playlist play, I wouldn't hear the same thing twice in the same week at this point in time. Um, because some of my stuff is 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 hours. Uh, so just on that aspect alone, audiobooks, I do a lot of listening. But right now, my email, and you sent me a webinar, recorded webinar.
You
I
did.
have a couple recorded webinars. Links to webinars I was on, I took notes too. I'm gonna go back and watch again before the link expires. Take more notes on. And most of those, I didn't learn anything new. I learned how to phrase it differently from somebody who makes more money, so maybe the way they phrase it is better. Like my schedule on it's technically Sunday now. So, and if you're watching this recording, because you're asleep now, because it's 4:30 in the morning here now. Then tomorrow I have a conference call, at least one of them, hangout, and a recorded webinar to watch. And I've got two more webinar links to track down. Didn't get on any webinars today. That's because we had some company calls as well, some training there, some team specific training happened today. That so happened to I couldn't make everything, can't be everywhere all at once. plus maintaining what's going on with me on Facebook as well. But the day before, I've done 2 webinars. Oh, I did watch a recorded hangout today, so I guess that's a webinar. I don't even count. I wasn't even counting those as webinars because it wasn't an actual webinar site. The day before 2 of them, the day before that 2 of them, and so most of the people watching this aren't busier than me on social media, and I make time. I think I'm averaging, if I count hangouts as well, in which I'm not presenting, 15 to 20 of those a week, plus my YouTube playlist, plus my audio. Plus, I'm always talking to people who earn multiples of what I do right now. Right now, that's what most of my outgoing messages are to people who earn multiples of what I do right now, and I talk to them 24/7. And it's cool when they're like, "Hold on, say that one more time so I can take notes." And you see, as I gain the exact mindset that these people have, guess what starts to happen? When you're branding your brain, your branding and brain, they take off and they have their own unique big bang, getting to a place they never got to, then your bank account will get there as well. And so you can't out personal develop me. I'm like, man, I've been slipping on my YouTube playlist, but Terrance, it's okay. You were on 30, you watched 30 different things this week, and we're on 15 different hangouts, and then you went and did 8 conference calls. I think you might be okay because you're still talking to 5 millionaires right now. You know, so if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, don't make excuses. All right, right before this, and this is the God's honest truth. When I clicked on my YouTube, one of your videos came up, an old video, you're getting to the event, and why most people don't make money before it's time to get to an event, and the mindset that it takes for a bunch of people to be able to get to the event because they can't afford it. They're not having success in business. They're doing everything they thought that they could do, and this event comes up, and they know that they want to win, and so they have to get to this event, and they come out of that event and they make money. And you touched on it. The biggest thing that changed was their mindset. The distractions, the excuses, and the loopholes. There's no such thing as trying. Trying is premeditated plan to fail.
Yep.
You know?
Mhm.
That's exactly.
Yeah, you just have to do it. And it takes sacrifice. It does. It may take, getting less sleep or spending less time with your family or friends or watching TV, sports, whatever. But it's worth it. In the end, it is so worth it.
Definitely.
Oh, it's a lifestyle. That's what you're working towards. So if you're willing to make the sacrifices in the beginning, you make that choice in the beginning, because that's what I say to people. Are you willing to make the choice to do this? It's not just about signing up, and getting a recruit. Are you willing to make the choice to do this? Because this is what it's going to take. Are you willing to do that? And some people say no, they're not. But some people are. And I know people with full-time jobs, families, illnesses, all kinds of different things, but they don't make excuses. They just do it. And that's the difference. Mm-hmm. They do it, no matter what it takes.
Yep. I always like to have little closing thoughts to anything I do. Um, just piggyback off what you said, which is great for closing. I had a business, was working third shift at FedEx. I would get done at FedEx. A couple hours later, after working 2 shifts at FedEx, a couple hours later, I'll be at the daycare. Um, I would leave the daycare and go straight to the restaurant. Went to I was making pizzas and got a phone call. Hey, this is what's going on. I'm like, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Man, I'm not that excited. Get another phone call. No, really, this is what's going on. All right. I see information later on that evening. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I guess I'll be down. Friday, okay, yeah, I should be ready by Friday. Cool, great. Well, Friday comes around, I've been working 3 jobs all week, plus handling some business stuff. You think I had time? You think I had time? Nobody had less time than me, except for people who made more money than me. You think billionaires have time to sit around watching TV all day? No, they didn't get where they got to by
No.
watching TV all day. They didn't get where they got to by not refusing to lose a couple hours of sleep. They had to be willing to make that sacrifice. And so I joined an opportunity that I had no time for at all. I never missed an event, and I made money, and I wound up earning myself out of multiple jobs. Even though I'd already been in the industry, already made money, I got bored. It just got, Jim Rohn talks about it, having that story. In my part time, I made X, Y, Z. Would you like to know how I did it? And
Exactly.
and then he's like, got to a point where it was just ridiculous. So I had to let go of my jobs, but I didn't want to let go of it because I didn't want to lose my story. I lost my story, and I love that was great leverage. I lost my story because I came in with that mindset, like, you know what? I already don't have time, so what am I going to lose? There is no excuse. When I thought about it and I sat back, I really wasn't enjoying what I was doing. I just need something to do with my time, so I was already trying to give away my time, and that helped me get my time back. You see what I'm saying? And
That's the one thing you can never replace is time.
right. A couple of months later, I'm not going to say the number, but I had several thousands of customers underneath me in business. I didn't have time to acquire those. So if you don't have time, you need to be really great at making people smile, giving value, and keeping people coming to your Facebook page. Because as they do and they join you, guess what happens? They may not have much time either, but if you've got 50 people who can put 1 hour a day in, you've got more time going into your business on a daily basis than you have going into your full-time job every single week. Every day.
Absolutely.
I
And
don't
make
know.
it so that it's easy. Make it so it's easy for your new recruits when they come in. If you have a Facebook group, put things in the file section so it's broken down for them to follow. So you don't have to explain all that all over again to every single person. Take the time to put it in a file or in a video or, in a how-to, whatever. Because then all you have to do is say to that person, here you go, watch this, and that's it. You do it one time, and then your whole team learns that way. And then that person that you recruited, they teach their new person that way. And that's how your team grows. That's duplication.
Definitely. But to do what she just said, guess what you have to have? A Facebook group. You know how my Facebook team group got started?
Know how?
I went to groups and I hit create a group. That's duplicatable.
It is.
Man, anybody can do that. So if you're not in a team that has a team group and has files already, guess what you need to do? You need to go to groups and hit create group. That's how my Facebook group got started. All right? Now, with
All
Terrance,
in there, plugged in.
right. And then now a lot of people, their excuse from that is going to be, well, I don't have people to plug into the group. Well, guess what happens when I create a group? You know how many people are in my group when I hit that button? Me. I was the only person in my group. That's how every group starts. So I don't care how many people you have. I don't care how many people you don't have. There's no if you're still watching this, that means that you have already eliminated the excuses and barriers and obstacles keeping you from winning. So I don't even have to touch on it or get into it because you've already started creating a name for the group So you can have branding for the group that your team can be plugged into and proud of. So you build loyalty and retention with your group. That way, you can go ahead and you can click the create group button. And some of you have already hit the create group button because you stayed on long enough to have eliminated all distractions and excuses. And if you want any more ideas or you any more tips, you can find both me, Terrance A. Collins Jr. on Facebook, backslash Inspired Mind 101, and you can also find Kimberly Tilley on Facebook. Um, what's her little thing real quick? Let me see. It's Kimberly dot Tilley. So take the L off of Kimberly, put a dot in it, and then Tilley, and you will have her on Facebook as well.
And you can put it in the description box too, below the video.
Definitely, yeah. Below
Right?
the video here,
Yeah.
um, you actually can already see my Facebook information, and we're friends on
Okay.
Facebook. So
Yeah.
definitely feel free to connect with us. Shoot us a message. Um, we're not the easiest people to actually become listed as friends with on Facebook, but it's very easy to get a hold of us and communicate with us. Remember, we're working on to build relationships through messaging anyway, so you're already going to send us a message anyway, and we appreciate you and your time. Um, and this is Kimberly Tilley and Terrance A. Collins Jr. here, just helping everybody step by step with some nuggets to get you from where you are to exactly where you want to be and exactly where you deserve to be in your life. So take care. Have a great morning, evening, or night, wherever it is, wherever you are.